Now everyone shuts up.
Nope. Hello, ladies.
Well, hello, gorgeous. I'm going to say the same thing that I started off with. You ladies look gorgeous. I'm going to have to step it up.
Oh, the yolk.
Well, thank you. But I never wear makeup. You guys always show up with makeup. I'm going to have to do that.
And for
I
me,
feel self-conscious even putting on lipstick.
no, I need
What's
to have
that
my
about?
lips on. I love to have lipstick on.
Like, what's that? When did you learn how to do that? Like, what age
Put on
was it?
lipstick?
Well, what age was it that it was like lipstick was mandatory for your day?
Well, it started with lip gloss.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then,
But
when
I'm
you were a
gonna say-
teenager, you put on lip gloss.
I never did.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did.
I'm going to say probably, now you're making me think about it. I'm going to say about 20 years ago, it just became a staple. Like
Really?
I always make sure my lipstick is with me. And I have different
Really?
ones for different like occasions, different things. or
I mean,
whatever.
that's amazing. I just, no, I've tried, I don't know how many times to do the whole lipstick thing, but I put it on and it's no, like when I, like the teenage years for the lip gloss, like
Yeah.
I would always buy the stuff that tasted really good. So like it wouldn't be on my lips for like any more than a nanosecond. And it was like, oh, this stuff tastes pretty good. And then I was
Yeah.
like, this probably isn't so good for me to be like, ingesting lip gloss, basically. Yeah. And I don't know. I just have never really, I think it makes me feel self-conscious about my lips. So I just, I'm like,
Really?
yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just feel a little more organized if I've got some makeup on. I just feel like, okay, you're put together. Let's go. It doesn't have to be like glam, but it just has to be like, oh, I put an effort in today. So now I feel organized.
Yeah.
It's my way of feeling, of collecting my thoughts.
But isn't that interesting, right? It's like having a ritual that you do, and when that ritual has been done and created, you feel different.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Tracy G said, it's like putting yourself together. It's like just part of your routine. No, I don't, if I'm home alone, I do not walk around with lipstick on. I don't. I use chapstick or lip balm to keep my lips moist because, in the middle of winter here, you have the tendency of them drying up.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to, I think that's one of the things I miss the most about having to wear a mask all the time is I don't put on lips. Like I miss putting on lipstick because if I'm going to dinner, we don't have to use a mask any longer. I mean, we have to till we sit down. So I do have lipstick on. But if I'm going to the grocery store or like yesterday, I ran to the library and I had to mail some packages. Yeah, I miss that process, that whatever it is called, because it helps like, all right, I can go now. It's like you put on your clothes, put on your shoes, you brush your teeth, put your lipstick on, go out the door.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah, I've never been that person ever. It's always been a chore to have to put on makeup. It's like I thought, and it's funny because when I do, or when I used to, because I mean, when I was in corporate, I did that a lot. I just never kind of felt like me. I always kind of thought, like, who's this face you're putting forward here? Like, this isn't really you. So, like, what's happening here? Yeah, isn't that funny, eh? So as a result, I've just never been a makeup person. Like, I mean, even now, makeup to me is like the most I would do is like mascara, and that would be it.
I don't know. I've seen myself without makeup and I'm like, you know what? That's not the face I'm putting forward.
That's so awesome though, right? I mean, that's
No, but it is. It's the same thing. I just feel if I run into people with things like that, I just feel better because I just feel more confident. And so maybe that's my crutch to make me feel a little bit more confident is just going, oh, I did put some effort into whatever it is I'm doing right now. And it happened to be mascara and lipstick.
And you know what? I think that goes down to the whole thing about routines and how important they can be to our entire psyche, right? It's like if you have a morning routine or you have a certain ritual that you do during the day or at night or whatever, that helps to balance you out and create like, it basically just sets you up for the whole day, right? Like I mean, there's so much out there about morning routines, about people getting up at 5 or getting up at whatever time to do a myriad of stuff. But I don't think it necessarily has to be that complicated, I guess. Like it can be as simple as just, getting up, doing whatever it is, journaling, not journaling, saying it out loud, whatever, your gratitude, you're setting your attention for the day. And then, it could be coffee, and that's the extent of your morning routine. You know what I mean? And it can be obviously as complicated as you want to make it. Like, it has to include, exercise and meditating and all of the things, right? It's just, but I think routines are super important.
Because whatever it is, whatever the routine is, if something happens and you go off that routine, you really feel it. Like you really feel it. And I lost a pet recently, which I'm not going to talk about because I'm going to get all upset, but it totally threw me off my routine. And it really affected my entire life in that period of time as I was mourning, because my routine was off. And so you're dealing with whatever, and now your routine is off, and now it affects your day, which affects your sleep, which affects the next day when you don't do that routine again. So it's really amazing how those little rituals really ground you in coping with the world, coping with life.
Yeah. And it's funny because you sometimes, when you get off that routine and it's been a while and you're off that routine and you're not feeling like yourself, you're thinking like, I'm just not me. Like I'm not living up to who I really should be. And you forget what it is that is the problem. It's like, well, why am I not? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm not doing all that stuff I used to do in the morning. Yeah. So important. Do you have a routine, Michelle?
Oh, I do. I work best with structure. I'm one of those people. And I mean, it is as simple as the moment I get out of my bed is made. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts. That bed is made. And I get right into my workout clothes. Like, and if I don't do those things, so like Sunday is deemed my rest day. And so I don't have to do any of my trainings of that. And so when I get out of bed, I still make my bed, but I don't always put on workout clothes. It depends. If I'm very sore, I might go do yoga or something. And I'm lost for a split second. Like I feel like I'm missing something in my schedule. And then I come in, I have a quiet space and I do my faith for just like 10 minutes. I do some meditation, just like 10 minutes though. I don't prolong it. It takes me forever to get everything done. Yeah. But starting this year, I have found one of the things that I wasn't in my routine as a routine habit was my journaling. And I found my gratitude journaling I was good with, but it was sporadic throughout the day. And that doesn't work for me. So I actually changed part of my morning routine to where in the morning I have a pre-workout drink before I go to do my workouts. And I force myself now. I have 3 journal questions I ask myself. I journal them every day, and I've done it since the 1st, and it is the 13th. And right after that, I do my gratitude and my drink is done and I go down and work out. So it's probably a span of a half hour, 40 minutes, the max, if I feel I need a little bit more and something. And then I go down and do my workout. That's awesome. But I'm also an early riser. So when you're laughing at that 5 o'clock, between 4:30 and 5, my eyes open up. I'm up. I start my day.
I might be up, but not by choice. So good on you, Michelle, because if my eyes open at 5, I'm just like, come on, get back to sleep.
But that's been me. That's always been from when I was a small kid. I've always been, even as a teenager, I was never one of those that slept till 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock. I was always up on the weekend. 9 o'clock would be the latest I ever slept. That's just the way my body clock works, I guess.
Right.
Mm. That's interesting. I read the Robin Sharma 5 a.m. Club book, and like then was like, oh, this is it. This is exactly what I need to do to like up level my life and create that routine. And I did. I mean, I did it. Like he says you need to do it for 66 days in a row to make it a habit. I don't. I think it's actually longer than that, because I did it way longer than that, and then I kind of fell off the wagon on the 5 a.m. And it's so funny how quickly that happens. It's like, you know, you just didn't do it one morning, and then one morning turns into 2, which turns into 2 weeks, which turns into 2 months, which turns into, and you're like, oh, what, like, wow, it's been a long time since I did that. And it's so funny because when I go back and I do that routine, when I'm up at the 5 and doing the stuff that I want to do, it makes such a difference in my day. Such a difference.
I bet.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus the fact that there's this whole window of time, and Michelle, you must feel like this too. There's this whole window of time where the rest of the world isn't operating yet. And like, you're getting all this stuff done that you no longer have to put in between the 9 and the, 5 situation, right? I know for me, like to try to do a workout or to try to do journaling or anything else like that at the end of the day, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I don't have the resolve. I'm usually
or the energy.
Yeah.
Like there's an energy. You've used it up. You used a lot of your energy up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. My decision capabilities are like way low. I just, So it's like, it's morning or it's not happening.
Well, those few times that I have bothered to get up at 6 or 7, the quietness is amazing. I see why people are attracted, or why you guys would be attracted to it. It's so quiet. You get your thoughts, or you can get them all organized, and like you said, you can get so much done in such a short period of time. And then that same amount of work from 9 to 12 like takes you from 9 to 5, where you've already accomplished that. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
So Tracy G, are you then consider yourself a night owl? Do you stay up later and that's where you get your energy? Or
I can stay up late, but no, like I don't know what late is. 11:30?
I have no clue. You're asking like
for me it's around 11:30, but I'm up at 7:30. That's my normal. And I don't think it's just what works for me.
Yeah, and I love that you said that. That's what works for me.
7:30 coffee. Come on, let's go.
And that's what's best. I mean, my body makeup is where I get my most energy from. I think Tracy, you said that. That's where your energy comes from. And I know my mom was the complete opposite of me. The complete opposite. She was a nurse, and growing up before they moved to Florida, she worked in a doctor's office, and that worked for her because the doctor didn't open until noon. Okay. And so she was able to slowly get up in the morning and get ready and go to work. She never worked at that time when we were around in a hospital, because she couldn't be in for a 7 to 3 shift. Like, that just was not going to happen. There was no way that was happening. And when she moved to Florida, she had a job where she worked 3 to 11 in different facilities. And then if my mom went to bed before 2 a.m., she was sick. There was something wrong with her. She was definitely like, there was something wrong. That was her makeup. That's how she was. She just, and her energy came at night. So
amazing.
Yeah, that was, I think you just go with where you get your most energy.
Yeah. And to know that, like to know that there's no right or wrong.
Mhm.
It's just you could be a morning person, a mid-afternoon person, an evening person, you just have to capitalize on where you are your most creative, most productive, most, have the most energy to do whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, right?
Mhm.
That's
And
what it comes down to.
I think that's also, we talk about it as a routine, and we talked about a habit and all of that. When you do those routines and those habits around what is your makeup, you have more success to it.
Oh,
Like I used to, years ago, meet people and work out at night after supper. That never worked for me. Like that just was like, to me, that was like the hardest, most unrewarding thing to do. And, even now, when I'm training for my race, she'll be like, you need to go for a run in the later afternoon. I'm like, that's the thought of me getting dressed to go out for a run in the late afternoon just isn't going to happen. Like, it's not what I want to do, but because of my race, I have to. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't always make the habits around our makeup. We make the habits around what we think we're supposed to do. Because I do my reading and my journaling first thing in the morning, because I'm a morning person, that's what works for me.
Mhm.
Some people, that might work for somebody after their dinner time. That's their quiet time. Then don't get up at 5. Do it at 7:00 at night, if that makes you, if that's what your makeup is.
But that's the trick, to figure out you. And you're listening to so many other people tell you how you should be. And as us wise women, we realize we've got to figure it out for ourselves.
Yes.
And once we figure out for ourselves, oh, you know what? Mornings are my thing.
Yeah.
Afternoons are my thing, whatever it is, right? And I think the secret behind all of that is really figuring it out yourself, who you are.
Yeah, so good.
That is, yep. And it comes down to wearing lipstick or not wearing lipstick. Who are you? It is that simple.
Mhm.
It is that simple. Like, okay, and I like putting on my lipstick. But there's also days where I'll look at my schedule and know I have nothing going on. I don't have to leave the house. And that's a whole different mindset, nice, clean, fresh face. I come into my office, do what I need to, do things throughout my house. And that's a comfort level also. It's, there is, you find your own comfort levels with it. But it is, put on your lipstick or not put on your lipstick. Who are you?
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.